That which we no longer need, we throw away. It's rubbish. That's far from the whole story. Just because we don't need a certain thing doesn't necessarily mean that it's rubbish. Here at Renosyd, we prefer to say that waste is an often valuable resource that just happens to be in the wrong place, in the wrong concentration, and at the wrong time. The collection and disposal of waste demands considerable resources and costs money. Therefore, it is important that we should ask whether our waste should be waste, and if so, how we should best process it. Denmark has an official policy on the treatment of waste, based on the so-called waste pyramid. This inverted pyramid illustrates the priorities of national policy, addressing the problem of waste from the top downwards. The first approach is to ask ourselves how waste can be minimised, for instance by reducing the use of unnecessary packaging materials and printed matter, or by using containers that can be reused for other purposes. It is here, at the top of our waste pyramid, that the greatest benefits for society are to be found, just as it is here that the individual citizen has the greatest chance of contributing to a national reduction in waste production. Here at Renosyd, we offer advice about waste minimisation to all our private and industrial customers. The next logical approach is recycling, where a waste product or material can be collected and used again for the same purpose. The Danish bottle deposit system is a good example of recycling. And throughout Denmark, many second-hand shops ensure that usable items do not go to waste. Recycling is something that everyone can do. For instance, by taking a used carrier bag to the supermarket instead of using a new one. Some waste may not be suitable for recycling, but that still doesn't mean that it is worthless. Many products are made from materials that may be reclaimed and reused. Plastic products are a good example. Here at Renosyd, we collect and sort plastic containers and other reusable plastics. The sorted materials are compressed and baled to reduce transport costs and are used in the manufacture of new plastic products. Reusable waste is sorted at our recycling centres, and we cooperate with local industry in the collection of larger quantities of homogeneous waste materials. This truckload of used plastic drums from a cable factory will be compressed and baled and sold to a plastics factory for reuse. Paper and cardboard are also reusable waste products. We compress and bale cardboard, and several times each week trucks arrive to take paper and cardboard to factories where it will be used again to make new paper and board products. If a waste product cannot be minimised, recycled or reused, then incineration is often the best approach. Incineration is particularly important for handling household refuse. Even when households and businesses sort and separate all waste materials that can be composted, recycled or reused, there is still a lot of refuse that needs incineration. The incineration facility in Skanderborg operates 24 hours a day. The furnaces are designed to work at high temperatures so that the incineration process is both efficient and environmentally safe. Incineration is a complicated industrial process that is subject to stringent requirements concerning the cleaning of the flue gases and the treatment and disposal of byproducts such as bottom ash and residues from the flue gas cleaning process. Incineration adds considerable value to the rubbish. Heat from the furnaces is used to generate electricity and to provide energy for the local district heating system. We have come a long way in the 40 years since most of our waste was dumped and buried underground. With today's efficient recycling, reuse and incineration, disposal in a landfill remains the only viable solution for less than 7% of our waste. The Renosyd philosophy for the handling of waste is based on many different strategies and processes. As waste arrives at each of our facilities, we apply specific solutions and technologies for each category of waste. The majority of our 80,000 customers each have many different waste disposal requirements, so they will meet Renosyd in different ways. Through our subcontractors, we visit every household and most small businesses in our area once a week. The collection of domestic refuse is a cornerstone of public health in Denmark. Regular collection minimises the risk of serious refuse-related infection. Household refuse collection is a public service paid for by all householders as part of their municipal property tax. Every increase in retail consumption, particularly of heavily packaged goods, brings with it a growth in the amount of refuse to be collected. We can all help to improve the refuse collection system by sorting our waste, by using organic waste to make compost, and by not filling our dustbins and refuse containers with cumbersome items that are easier to process if delivered directly to one of our recycling centres. To lighten the load of refuse collection and to achieve optimal separation of recyclable waste paper, all households and businesses in our area are provided with a separate container for paper products, such as newspapers and printed advertising matter. Renosyd's own vehicles and employees handle the collection of waste paper on a regular basis. At over 60 locations in our service area, we have established collection stations, where citizens can deposit waste paper and glass bottles for recycling. The idea is simple. By encouraging citizens to sort glass and paper waste, we reduce the amount of these materials that otherwise would be incinerated along with household refuse. The success of this initiative is completely dependent on those who use it sorting the waste properly and putting it in the correct container. The 8 recycling centres in the Renosyd region have become popular with the public. This is a well-designed recycling centre with plenty of space to park and unload. The waste containers are parked below ground level to make it easier for the public to deliver waste. And for added safety, the access area for trucks that deliver and collect the containers is separate from the public area. Centres such as this represent the ultimate in efficient recycling. Visitors sort and deliver their rubbish into separate containers, one for each category of waste, so that each container may be collected and its contents processed without the need for further sorting. Our recycling centres are manned by experienced employees, who can also assist with the safe delivery of hazardous waste such as car batteries, small batteries, paint and toxic or poisonous chemicals. Hazardous waste can come from both private households and industry. The term hazardous waste covers a wide range of products, chemicals and materials that are either unsuitable or too dangerous for incineration or disposal in a landfill site. Hazardous waste can often only be recycled, reused or disposed of with the aid of specialised processes in a safe and controlled working environment. Waste sump oil from motor vehicles is a typical example. The recycling centre has a chemical depot where waste sump oil may be delivered. The depot is specially designed to prevent soil or sewer pollution in the event of a spill. Waste oil is collected by specialist companies and is reused in the manufacture of new oil products. All of the Renosyd recycling centres have special containers and suitable equipment for handling hazardous waste, and the company is able to provide expert advice about dealing with hazardous waste. The handling of industrial waste is a complex business that demands expertise because many waste products require special processing. However, industrial waste is often easier to handle than domestic refuse because waste from industry usually comprises large quantities of homogeneous material. For industries that deliver waste materials and byproducts for recycling or reuse, there is a clear incentive to sort the waste efficiently. Waste materials that are well sorted achieve the highest prices from the recycling industry. Renosyd offers advice about sorting methods for different waste products and can assist in finding a market for most industrial waste. Renosyd operates a waste facility in Skorup near Skanderborg, once a municipal landfill where all rubbish was buried with little consideration of alternative disposal methods. This is today a controlled landfill site, where all waste materials are closely inspected and monitored. The landfill is subject to stringent regulations about which waste materials may be accepted here, and what provisions must be made for each category of waste and the area where it will be deposited. All waste materials that are unsuitable for this facility are shipped to specialist facilities in neighbouring countries. Unsuitable waste includes materials that can be recycled, reused or incinerated, as well as hazardous materials such as chemicals which could pose a threat to the local environment. Modern landfills such as this are built over a waterproof membrane with drains to catch the rain and surface water that filters through the waste. The entire facility is subject to strict environmental inspections that include regular analysis of the wastewater before it is sent to a water treatment facility. Unlike the rubbish dumps of yesteryear, all waste arriving at a modern landfill is weighed and its location logged to ensure that both the company and the local community have an overview of the subsurface here in the future. Out of sight, but still in mind. Only part of this waste facility is a landfill. Large areas are used for the temporary storage and processing of many waste materials. Large quantities of waste timber and lumber are stored here before being sold for the manufacture of chipboard products. When the incineration facility's silo has limited capacity, combustible waste materials are also stored here. This is a facility for the handling of masonry, brick and concrete waste that is crushed on a regular basis and sold as foundation aggregate for building and road construction. The bottom ash from the incineration facility is also stored here for a few months to allow the chemical compounds time to react with the air and to stabilize. The bottom ash is periodically ventilated and any residual metals are removed before the stabilized product is sold as foundation material. This facility is also a staging post for much of the waste that is delivered to the recycling centres. The sorted waste is stored here until it is sold to recycling facilities, often in other countries. The recycling centres receive large quantities of garden waste. Here it is shredded and stacked in windrows, where it is regularly turned and aired. The resulting product, after 8 to 9 months, is a high-quality garden compost that the public can collect free of charge at any of our recycling centres. For a reasonable transport fee, a full truckload can be delivered directly to the householder's garden